Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today's For You deck profile is going to be over the red-black version of the Hunter deck. If you're not familiar, there's actually two different builds that you can go with. There's a yellow-green build, or you can go with the red-black build. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. In my personal opinion, just right off the bat, I think the red-black one is a little bit better. It has more power plays that it can do, and I think its Tamers are considerably better, and its inheritables that it gets is also really solid. I would just right out there, yellow green build is more of a turbo into Quartzmon style deck is what I kind of view it as. I think that's going to be its best bet because of the purple tamer that it runs is different from the purple tamer that we run. We run the memory fixer here with Taiga, right? Or Tigera. And then they run the Ryoma, which grabs from trash and slides back underneath. So really powerful combos that you can do with Astamon in that build. This build, we also are going to be running Quartzmon, but it's a little bit different of an approach, which will make sense when we start looking at the deck. Don't forget, this month's featured memory marker is Demi-Marimon. If you're a fan of Demi-Marimon, it's a fantastic purple baby egg Digitama that you can go with in pretty much any purple build. This is just a great memory marker to represent all your purple decks, I think. This is handmade out of clay by my wife, Digimiyu, hand painted by her as well. Just a really great looking memory marker. It's got a little clear peg there, so it's kind of hovering above some like lava flats. So really nice, really cool memory marker. A big fan of this one. Asked her to make it for like a year straight, and she finally gave it in, and I think she did a great job. You can find that on our Etsy page, link in the description below. Also there you can find all of her previous memory markers that we featured on the channel in the past for her. Alright, so as always, I've got the whole deck pulled up for y'all so you can kind of follow along, see what we're doing here, so that way everything makes sense. We are just one card over, and that's going to be this overflowing power that I just kind of want to talk about a little bit. This deck can be a little bit flexible, particularly with the Astamon and Quartzmon. You don't actually have to run those if you're not a fan of that tech or anything like that. You can definitely drop those and then fit in other utility pieces, whether you want to run like some big removal, I don't know, like a Gaia Force or something, or some Crimson Blaze, whatever you're feeling. You know, if you want to tech in Death X, go for it. I would say these are probably some definite big flex spots right here. These last I guess there's four spots in the deck that can be flex for whatever you prefer. And it's going to be these right here at the end. So it's really a 46 card deck, and I spent the last 4 cards on Astamon and Quartzmon. All right, so let's go ahead and do the card by card. So that way things kind of make a little bit more sense. Monimon is going to be your baby of choice. It's the on deletions. If it has save in the card text, draw 1. Keep in mind, everyone, when it says if it has card, the save in the card text, that includes stuff like this, like can Digivolve if it contains save, right? This right here counts as it having save in the text. So it doesn't have the save ability, right? The on deletion save, it has save somewhere in the text somehow related to it. And then also why you think we might not run Pikmon anymore, that's because a lot of the stuff in this, while it has the save mechanic, it also has the Digicross mechanic. It does not, in fact, have the cross heart in the name, so right, or the typing. It's rookie, data, mutant, right? If you look at the Shoutmon King version here, it does have mini dragon, cross heart, but a lot of the stuff in this deck does not actually have cross heart in the typing. So that's why we switched over to the Monimon now for the draw 1 on that. Next up is as well as it's a generic, right? It needs to have this ability to the save in the mechanic, so that way when you have all your rookies here, they can digivolve on top of it. No matter which rookie you're playing, no matter what color it is, they can all digivolve on top of this Monimon because it's got the save in the text here. So it's either Monimon or Pikmons, and Pikmons doesn't work with this deck, so Monimon is really your only choice. Next, for our first rookie here, we got Drakmon. This is just kind of a small tech here. Some people aren't a fan of it. Some people are. If you you say you open up a ton of Tamers, you brick super bad, which with the mulligan rule, it should be less likely now that that should happen. You shouldn't have that issue anymore. If you think that because of the mulligan rule, you can justify getting rid of this, go for it. If you want to drop this guy in favor of something else, sure. But if not, the on play here, you can reveal up to 3 Tamers from your hand and place them at the bottom of your deck in any order to draw a card for each one. It's not too bad there. So especially when you start doubling up, because a lot of these you don't need extras of. You kind of just really just need the one of each and call it a day after that. It's not like it's not like the Crossheart deck where you need multiples. It has the Unleash and Save. You can also Digicross with it, making it a 2 play cost. I do like the 2 play cost because one of our level 4s has Rush, so you can Digivolve into your level 4 for free. So 2 play cost rookie, Digivolve for free into a level 4 that has Rush is pretty solid. And then your turn, it gives, if it has Save, it's got a 2k DP buff. Next, we got the Quartzmon here. So again, can Digivolve on top of our baby. And it has the inheritable of when attacking, if you have save in the card text, you can minus 2k on something. That's pretty solid. I'm a big fan of it, particularly in conjunction with something like a Shoutmon inheritable, whether it's King version or Omni Shoutmon, because they can delete something with 4k or less. So you can actually bring something with 6k down to a 4k and then pop it with the Shoutmon. So really nice synergy there. I'm a big fan of it. Just throwing it just when you need it. You know, you throw one underneath a Tamer for when the time comes, when you know you're going to get like your Shoutmon combos, or if you really need to kill a rookie and pop something with Shoutmon, you know, do some wide board removal. Just the having the tech in here is super solid. I'm a big fan of a Quartzmon. Next up is for our purples here, which doesn't matter which version of the deck you're going to play. You're going to play both purple rookies here. The Gumdramon can Digicross for 2. So again, 2 play costs with this guy if you cross with him. And then on play, by placing one Digimon card with save in its card text from your hand under one of your Tamers, draw one. So basically does the same thing as Taiki, but you get it as an on play rookie. And then all your purple inheritables here are going to be when attacking, if it has save, you're going to draw one. I think even the Astamon has that. Yeah, so even the Astamon is going to do the same thing. So all your purple inheritables on your Digimon are all going to be the same thing. Psychmon, I'm a big fan of. It's on play. You may add one Digimon card with save in its card text from under one of your Tamers to your hand. So again, 2 play cost or 4 play cost, and then you can add back something from underneath one of your Tamers. They do have the card Overflowing with Power, or Overflowing Power, if you're not familiar with it. It's a 0 play cost, and then you can just Digivolve one of your Digimon into a card with save underneath one of your Tamers. So you could go Psychmon to grab it back, or you could just use Overflowing Power to go straight from underneath something and Evo it. So that's why I think this card's worth talking about. I think it's a strong card. If you don't want to depend too much on the Psychmons, then it's pretty good. Also, Astamon can like Digivolve into Quartzmon if it's underneath something. So I don't know. It's not quite as necessary. The Overflowing Power. I think Psychmon does a pretty good job of, if you really need something, use Psychmon to grab it back. For our level 4 package now, you notice our rookie package is pretty low. That's because a lot of our level 4s here, you can hard play them pretty easily, or you can Digivolve them. So we've got actually 12 level 4s that actually will Digivolve on top of our 12 rookies. But you can on-play them as well. But first up, Quartzmon, 4 play cost, blocker, on play, reveal 3, add 2 Digimon with save in its text, and then on deletion, save itself, and then gives your Digimon jamming as an inheritable. So that's really good. He's a solid searcher, 4 play cost, gets a blocker on field, gets a body that you can attack with. Even if it gets deleted, then you have a source to give to your jamming, because a lot of your stuff is pretty small, so swinging into security can be kind of scary at times, especially if you have like security attack +1. Having jamming from Quartzmon can be super powerful. Shoutmon King version. Now we're going to get into a couple cards that make it different from the yellow-green build. If you're not familiar, the yellow ones, pretty much all the inheritables are all the same depending on the color. You got your yellow, which is going to be your minus 2k when attacking. Your greens are all going to be the plus 2k on your turn. All your Shoutmons, so all your reds are going to be when attacking. If you have save, delete something with 4k or less. Your purples are going to be your draw cards, and then your black are going to be blockers. Okay, that's going to be all your inheritables. They're the same for every color, no matter what Digimon it is. I really like Shoutmon, the red package, because we're deleting things, we're clearing bodies, especially in combination with the Ikakimon, because then you can double up there on multiple effects, which is really solid. Whereas the yellow-green build, they don't have they run the Drakmon and Ikakimon as well, right? There's no rookies for them to run that they can really capitalize on. They get these effects, so because they're going to want to run these rookies as well, so they're going to lose out on the red and the black inheritables. So again, red black build is a little bit more diverse. But so Shoutmon King version on play or when digivolving, you can play the Taiki, Yu, or Tagiru from your hand without paying its memory cost. On deletion, save, then place one Digimon card with save in its card text from your trash under one. So that's really powerful for new save mechanic of your level 4s. Not only do they save themselves, but then like all their inheritables go to trash, and then you get to pick between everything in your trash with save and slide that underneath and save 2 things. So really good recycling. Whereas Crossheart in the past with Shoutmon, if your opponent used the right cards, like the right removal cards, it would always force the trash, because if it wasn't deleted, it didn't get to use material save, and so they would trash all their sources and then be gone for pretty much the rest of the game. But Shoutmon or the new level 4s can now add back after trash if they get deleted. That's really strong. Now what makes these decks red black or yellow green is because of the level 4s that run with it. On play, I can play a Taiki, a Yu, or a Tagiru. That's going to be these 3 Tamers here. If I put in the yellow Tamer and I use Shoutmon King version, I couldn't play her. If I use the green, I couldn't play him. And that's the drawback. You're going to want to maximize on these guys that are going to be playing out the Tamers that you're actually running. So that's why I like to keep the 2 builds separated. Damemon here, kind of similar, but his is reveal 3 from your deck, and then play a Taiki, Yu, or Tagiru. Again, we're going to be running just these 3 Tamers, so we're going to maximize out on these Tamers a decent amount. If I was to tech in those other Tamers, I'd be less likely to actually hit these Tamers off of these effects. So that's kind of that's why you have to run basically the builds like you do. You can't really do this big rainbow build. It just doesn't work because there's too many effects doing different things. There's not enough overlap. Where if you maximize out on just the red and black and the purple here, you get some good overlap in effects, so you can get some good value there. Arrestadramon, you're going to use Arrestadramon in either build though. Digivolve for 2 from any card with save, so you can Digivolve on top of any of your rookies here. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has 2 or more Digivolution cards, it gains Rush, which is pretty much always a given. It's going to Digivolve on top of something. If it's Digivolving on top of something, you should be using one of your Tamers to slide something else underneath it, guaranteeing that it'll have that second source, and also reducing its Evo cost. And then on deletion, save. So, and then same inheritable here. The Rush is really strong though, so good plays are to go into the Arrestadramon, swing, and then we're going to go into Arrestadramon Superior mode next, which is going to be the level 5 counterpart, and its effect is when Digivolving, place one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon underneath one of your opponent's other Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card, or under one of their Tamers. For each Tamer you have in play with a different color, increase the maximum level that this card can choose by 1. So you can go all the way up to 7 in this deck. We have 4 different color Tamers that we run, so we can go all the way up to 7, clearing out a level 7 body off field. Super good. We're playing 3 copies of every Tamer, so we should, in theory, in a game that goes at least to a medium length, we should be able to get all 4 Tamers in play, making this a fantastic removal effect. And then end of your turn, if this Digimon has 4 or more Digivolution cards, this Digimon can attack without suspending. Some key things to know about that: if you're unsuspended, you can attack and you don't have to actually suspend it. If you're already suspended, you can still attack even though you're already suspended. So it doesn't matter whether you're suspended or unsuspended, you can just attack and you don't have to worry about moving it at all. Okay, it doesn't matter, which is really great. So if you go Reshiramon, swing Evo into superior mode to pass turn, you can still get that next attack off, which is great, as well as your Wind Digivolving. And again, same inheritable for all our other purples. Now I do have a little bit of just personal preference here. I'm a big fan of the Omni Shoutmon just because when Digivolving, you can delete up to 4,000 DP worth of your opponent's Digimon. If you have 2 Digivolution cards, or for every 2 Digivolution cards this Digimon has, add 3k to the maximum amount. So getting up to like 10k is pretty easy. With this, maybe 13k might be pushing it a little bit. It could happen, rather not super likely, but it could, because you're gonna have your baby, your rookie, or you can have your rookie that slid something else underneath it, like your Gumdramon or your Psychmons, and then you're gonna have your level 4 that they probably reduce the Evo cost, so that could be 5 sources, and then you go into your Omni Shoutmon, which then they can put more sources underneath with your Tamers, so you can go have up to 8 sources underneath your Omni Shoutmon. Like in a perfect world scenario, you could have 8 sources, so that's a plus 12k. So you can clear up to 16,000 DP worth of Digimon with Omni Shoutmon in a perfect world, assuming that you've made it that far. And then while this Digimon has 4 more Digivolution cards, it gains Security Attack +1. 7k is not big for Security Attack +1, but if you got your Clockmon giving it jamming underneath, that's pretty solid. And then again, same inheritable as the Shoutmon. You might think, well, it's a level 5, you don't really have any level 6s in the deck. You do have a couple level 7s. Yeah, but I can always slot Omni Shoutmon underneath one of my Tamers and then use my Tamer effect to put it under something else. So I could literally cross into Gumdramon for 2, right? Play out Gumdramon for 2 and use my Omni Shoutmon as the inheritable to cross with. So there's ways to get him underneath things and get that inheritable without actually having to Digivolve on top of him with like a level 6. For our Tamers here, we got Taiki here, who's really, really good. 3 play cost isn't bad. And then at the start of your main phase, so this is after you draw, after you hatch or promote, then it goes off. So start of main phase, you can place a card with save and its card text in your hand under this Tamer. Draw 1, a Digimon card specifically, so it can't be another Tamer. So kind of also keep that in mind. And then draw 1, great way to help cycle through the deck to get through other things. Like say you got the wrong level or you got too many rookies, whatever it is, you can put one underneath to draw a new card. And then all of our Tamer is going to have the same thing, except for the Watchmaker. He's going to have this effect here. When you Digivolve into a Digimon with save, you can suspend this Tamer to place one card from under your Tamers at the bottom of that Digimon's Digivolution cards, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. It doesn't have to be under this guy. So if I have 5 sources underneath Taiki, and I've got all these different Tamers out, I can use all my Tamers, and they can all take from Taiki to put underneath that Digimon. So that's really nice. It doesn't have to specifically be underneath this Taiki. Tagiru has the same reduction effect, but he's going to be a memory fixer for you, so he's going to set you to 3 every time, which is really solid. It's good, okay? We also have you here, which is start of main phase. You can put a card with save from in your hand under this Tamer to gain a memory, so you can go up to 4 memory. If you don't have a memory fixer out, you is a fantastic lifesaver. Super, super good. All 3 of these guys, they're the best ones. Like the green Tamer gives a 2k DP buff. The yellow Tamer does minus 2k to something, which isn't bad. It's a neat little cheeky way to kill a rookie off the field at the start of your main phase, which I don't mind the yellow one too much there because of that. And then the purple Tamer is start of turn or start of main phase. If you don't have 2 or more sources underneath them, you can take something from trash and slide it underneath. So not bad, but I think these 3 are going to be better than those other 3. Now, Old Clock Shop Man, or Watchmaker as he's called in the English release, is super good. Also on play, reveal 3 from your deck, add 1 card with save, add 1 Digimon card with save, and 1 Hunter card. So it's going to add a Tamer and a Digimon. And then if you have 4 or more Tamers in play, by suspending this Tamer, I think it's 4 or more Tamers in play with a different color. I'm pretty sure that's what the English text translates to. If you have 4 different color Tamers in field, you can suspend him to give it security attack +1. So again, really strong with the Reshiramon. So swing here with security attack +1 and jamming, and then go into superior mode and swing again. So that's 4 checks right there off of very little memory. Okay, so 2 play cost rookie, Evo for 0 into a Reshiramon, right, and punch, and then you can go into your level 4 or your level 5 to pass turn. All right, now getting into our little tech here of Astamon Quartzmon. I think Quartzmon is a really strong card. I think it's a really, really strong card. It's kind of slept on, honestly. I'm kind of surprised we don't see or have seen it a little bit more in JP. I guess we'll just kind of see what happens. I know usually the US isn't a big control type of environment. Security control gets a ton of hate. So, you know, maybe we won't see a lot of Quartzmon here, but I think it's a strong card. It can also be teched into any deck that runs a mega of these 3 colors, because it can Digivolve on top of it. But Astamon, really great for what we're doing here. So 3 Evo cost or 5 on top of a Psychmon, or 3 from yellow, green, or purple level 4 with save in its text. So when digivolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with save in its description from the bottom of your Tamer without paying its memory cost. If this Digimon has 4 or more Digivolution cards, this Digimon may digivolve into Quartzmon in your hand under under your Tamers, reducing the Digivolution cost by 3 instead. So normally, Quartzmon would be a big whopping 9 memory to Evo on top of a level 5 that contains save. But if you use that effect, you can make it 6, which is his same Evo cost for other megas. And then his effect will also reduce that even further. And then again, Astamon's inheritable is the same as all the other purples. So Digivolve for 3, and then the idea is to warp into Quartzmon for 6 memory. And then when Digivolving, suspend all Digimon except this Digimon, and suspend all Tamers. Then gain 1 memory for every 2 suspended Digimon and or Tamers in play. In a Tamer-based deck like this is, you're going to have a decent amount of Tamers on field, and then your opponent's going to have some Tamers on field and some Digimon, you know, depending on the deck that you're playing against, right? That could be super huge. You can potentially even just gain memory back, more memory than you spent going into Quartzmon, which is pretty mind-blowing. And then all turns, all Digimon except this Digimon and all Tamers can't unsuspend. So then only Quartzmon is unsuspending and attacking every turn. Stuff out of Raising Area, though, is okay. If you promote up, you can swing with something that came out of Raising Area. Or if you hard played something and gave it Rush, it could attack as well. But yeah, anything that's going to be sitting there is going to be, well, sitting there. When attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. So if they play out something new and they don't attack with it, attack a Quartzmon and suspend it and lock it down. Then for every 5 suspended Digimon and or Tamers in play, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. If you're going into Quartzmon, you should be at a point where you have 5 things on field. 4 Tamers and Quartzmon, 3 Tamers, Quartzmon and something else, whatever the combination is. Don't go into Quartzmon if you're not triggering this. If you're not triggering at least in my opinion, I don't think it's worth going into Quartzmon if you're not going to get any good value out of it. Go into Quartzmon when you got a big board, right? If you don't have a big board, you're not going to get much value. You're going to pass turn, give your opponent a ton of memory. They're going to blow it up and move on with their day, right? But if you bring it back to your side, you attack with it, you get a free trash of your opponent's security. That's really good. If their opponent has a big board as well, maybe you're trashing 2 things, checking 1. Quartzmon's a strong card. But if you're not a fan of this package here, you don't have to run it. Like I said, the Astamon can be a little bit awkward to play. 5 Evo on top of Psychmon, maybe not the best, or 3 from a yellow, green, or purple. Like I said, Quartzmon Turbo is really popular in the yellow-green build because of Astamon being so popular. But again, if you don't want to run that, you could just run the Quartzmon instead, because Quartzmon can at least still Evo for 9 on top of a level 5, just to kind of tech it in there into the deck. I've seen multiple different avenues that you can take with this deck. It's absolutely crazy. The yellow level 5, it's like a minus 3k for every 2 inheritables, right? We added up on the Shoutmon if you have 8 underneath. It's and you can split that yellow one up. So you could do, what is it, 4 -3 Ks. So you can do one thing for -12, or you can do 4 things for -3 on each, or 2 things for -6. You know, whatever combination you want to do. That yellow, so the yellow level 5 is really cool as well. But I think the bread and butter of it, though, no matter where you look at it, is a Reshiramon and a Reshiramon Superior Mode. That's your meat and potatoes. Everything else after that is just a tech. Omnishoutmon is a tech. Astamon, Quartzmon, that's just a tech. Okay, nothing else really matters on that. It's just kind of, I think the problem is that you can get in a situation where Superior Mode is only 10k, right? Even with jamming, if you're playing against Black War Greymon X and they've got that big body with blocker, reboot blockers, so they're swinging and they're and they're going to reboot and then they're going to block you. You can't get past it. You need something in this deck to get past those. So whatever choice you go with, just kind of keep that in mind, that those big blocker decks are going to put a big hamper on you. So make sure you're going to bring some sort of tool to handle them. I think that's going to be the biggest takeaway that I could give you if you want to play this deck, is find an out for those decks. Okay. But that'll do it. If you have any questions or anything like that, please let me know. Put in the comments. I'll try to answer anything I can. If you have any suggestions, put those in the comments as well. I would love to, learn more as a player myself, as well as, you could be helping out someone else that's really interested in this deck, and I might have missed something that you have an idea about. You could help other people as well.